so we can get the two-team news for West Ham. 2 changes from last weekend's disappointing draw with Liverpool, and it's a first real chance for the interim boss Steve Kirby to put his stamp on this side. England international Anouk Denton and Anna Chiki return to the starting 11, with Eva Nierström dropping to the bench. There's a notable absence too. The ever-present captain Katrina Gorry misses out through illness, meaning Amber Tiziak takes on the leadership role at the back, and up front Rico Ueki, who scored her first goal of the season last time out, once again leads the line. For Manchester City, it's also 2 changes following their 6-goal run-out of Aston Villa last weekend. Grace Clinton and Carolyn come into the starting 11. Vivian Miedema is named among the substitutes, while Fagino misses out after being assessed in midweek. This game's come too soon for her. And Bunny Shaw continues to lead the line, having scored her 100th goal for the club last weekend. So for the hosts today, they've got the home comforts, but this striker, Shakira Martinez, up front for West Ham today, top goal scorer in the Subway Women's League Cup this year, finding her form in the League Two, 7 goals to her name. Emily Orman, this is a dangerous striker.
Yeah, and seems to be a dangerous striker in this competition as well. She's really kind of brings some life to West Ham, I think, in moments where they've been struggling. She's not really been there that long ultimately, but she's a really exciting player to watch, and I'll enjoy watching her today as well, I'm sure.
And I think the question is, will she be in a shirt after the January transfer window, with that looming after Christmas? For Manchester City, they've also got a dangerous striker up top. A huge danger leading the line, full of confidence as well. Bunny Shaw having hit the 100 goals for the club last weekend.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see the dynamic now with Vivian Miedema on the bench. They had such a great connection last week, kind of found their synchronization, I find. But, I mean, Bunny Shaw's such a dominant figure. I'm sure she'll be able to find the back of the net today.
So we are a few moments away from kick-off here in East London for the Subway Women's League Cup tie, quarter-final tie between West Ham and Manchester City. There is Andre Jeglerts, the City manager, travelling down, and a new face in the dugout for West Ham. Steve Kirby taking charge today after Rhian Skinner left the club in midweek following a disappointing few results and a start to this season, having been so dominant at the end of last year, picking up their form. But it's Steve Kirby in charge today. And the referee today, Ade Sonai. And it's important to remember that this is a knockout game, of course, so we will be going to extra time and then penalties if it stays level. And it will be City who will get us off and underway. So West Ham in a transitional period, with a new manager at the helm, hosting the force that is Manchester City, leading the Barclays Women's Super League, hoping they can go all the way this year. And West Ham immediately win it back. Clinton. Emily, what are you expecting for this game? Because, of course, they're 2 teams in completely different forms. West Ham struggling, Manchester City top of the table. Done really well this year.
Yeah, very much so. I do think, though, in these games, they can sometimes be the most exciting because West Ham don't have as much to lose in terms of the legacy of their season. I think, obviously, they're going to want a good result. But they can really throw everything at this game without fear.
Asai clipping that ball back, and she does well to barge, and she takes the shot early. And Yamashita straight to her arms.
Some early pressure there from West Ham. That's probably going to be where they get the most joy, just picking up on little mistakes that City make. But I don't know if she's going to have too many more opportunities like that.
City very tight in defence. Only 2 changes for them today too. Here is Clinton. Kasparai. Into Carolyn, back in the starting 11 for her today, the Brazilian international. Here is Hemp, looking for some support, cuts it back, Denton is there. Hemp. Clips it up, headed by Clinton. Here is Shaw. Bunny Shaw strikes, and an early goal. And it's Carolyn back in the starting 11 today, back on the score sheet. And Manchester City with early pressure, they lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect way to get when you come back into the team, to get a goal nice and early on. I think West Ham are going to be disappointed because it kind of takes a bit of a sting out of any life that they would have for this game. But of course, a cheeky little dink, but maybe Anouk Denton could have done a little bit better there to clear the danger. I think West Ham have struggled a little bit in their defensive actions all season, really. And as a goalkeeper, that is the most painful feeling after you've made a save, for a player just to run it in like that. Because I actually think this initial save is quite a good one.
On the rebound, Carolyn is lurking, and Carolyn slots it home, and 2 minutes in already, Manchester City showing their quality. They lead West Ham by a goal to nil. And a nice celebration to go alongside that. Do you know what that means?
I don't. I feel like I should. I feel like that's my generation
I've got no
thing.
idea.
I'm just glad it's not a 6-7 or something embarrassing like that.
So there's going to be a slight break in play, I think, as some players receive some treatment, and it's a say with the treatment. Had that early chance, early shot at goal, but immediately City coming down the other end to show West Ham who's boss, really.
Yeah, she seems to be holding her head. Maybe she got some contact in the sort of kerfuffle of the last goal. But she seems okay. And hopefully we can get underway and no one needs to come off.
So just waiting to get back underway here, and immediately Steve Kirby, the new interim boss for West Ham, has some work to do, some analysis to do in the dugout.
Definitely not the start that he would have wanted. Well, you know, the start of his, you know, potential legacy at the club, and it's
2 minutes in.
2 minutes, yeah.
Well, this is a cup competition, of course. You've got to remember, and anything can happen. But Manchester City looking to go that one step further after being in the final last year. Chelsea just nipping it in Derby. And here is the goal scorer, Carolyn, back to Blinkilda Brown. And a nice squared ball, but one back by West Ham. And Kanak. Tiziak, the captain for West Ham today, does well. Here is a say, long ball forward to Shakira Martinez, the leading goal scorer in this competition. Rose.
West Ham still seem to be sat in a sort of middle block, so they've not given up hope yet and dropped in too deep. So maybe we'll see a few more attacking opportunities for them.
Nice play, and it might come from this player, Shakira Martinez. Endo. Out to Morgan. It's important to remember the form that Manchester City are on this season. They haven't lost since the opening day, and that was to Chelsea. Haven't lost a game across all competitions, as here they come again. Bunny Shaw through to Hemp, who manages to keep it in. Up to Huabi, looking for some support. Blinkilda Brown cuts it across the face of goal and straight to the hands of Sharmik.
It seems that West Ham are sort of allowing that cross to come in, really, if you looked at the shape as they dropped in there. they were all very, very central, which obviously is where the goal is. But I think they need to manage the cross a little bit better, otherwise you might get stung with the goal.
So they're almost expecting City to press and City to attack, and what maybe the game plan is to defend, defend, defend.
Yeah, I mean, I think for every team in the league right now against City, the game plan is defend, defend, defend.
Clinton, nice ball across. Here is Lauren Hemp, and Hemp makes it 2. And inside 10 minutes, Manchester leads by 2-0.
I mean, we were talking about defend, 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 but I mean, that was a lovely pass, I think, from Grace Clinton into Lauren Hemp. Found her perfectly, and then nice calm finish to put it away. We'll get a replay here. Good feet from Clinton, and again, that's a lovely pass. I mean, it looks so simple on the video, but that is really, really a pinpoint pass to find Lauren Hemp through 3 defenders, and then just popped it home.
Really nice play from Manchester City. Pinpoint passing, pinpoint strike. And Lauren Hemp makes it 2-0. Gives fullbacks nightmares with her pace on the wings, but she's slotted it home, and this might be a tough task for West Ham today. Rose. Kanak. And Kilda Brown on the attack again. And here is Kasparai charging down the wings, cuts it back. It's the feet of Tiziak and goes out for a corner.
I mean, we saw the sort of narrowness of West Ham again there. That ball out is way too easy for me, but they were lucky that it didn't really come to anything, but they have given away a corner, which is often a very good opportunity, especially for a team like City that seem to have such a sight of goal at the moment.
And West Ham don't have a very good record when it comes to set pieces, conceding in set pieces. Here is Hemp. At the far post, headed across the face of goal. And that's gone over. And it will be another corner kick.
Need to be managing that back post run, because when that gets headed back across the goal, it's really difficult to defend those.
What are you thinking in this as a goalkeeper, Emily? Lining up for a corner kick, obviously you'll have practiced them, but where do you want your markers?
I mean, it seems that West Ham are going for sort of a hybrid.
It's swung in at the back post and straight to the hands of Schimek.
They've gone for sort of a hybrid system. Some players in a more...
Well, loose pass out. Here is Carolyn again, already scored one today. She cuts back in, and Schimek makes herself big.
Yeah, sorry, that turned over a little bit quicker than I was expecting, but slight slip there. Sometimes those moments do happen, but West Ham need to be careful as they build out, because they've already got a bit of a hill, but they don't want a mountain.
West Ham looking for a charge there, but immediately shut down by City, and Tiziak boots it high into Bunny Shaw. Martinez and Kilda Brown on the shoulders, one back by Chiki. Here is Denton through the legs of Hemp, does well. And looks for the run of a save, puts the burners on. And runs out for a throw.
I think Asay probably should have just given that to the fullback in the first place there, rather than forcing for another throw. But I think she was trying to look to play quickly and take advantage where she could.
A rare attack for West Ham. Hanshaw, cheeky.
Thanks, Si.
Hanshaw gets to the byline, cuts it back. Cleared by City. Asay looking to beat Kasparai. She does. And then Kilda Brown runs away with it. And good defensive work by Anouk Denton there.
Yeah, tidy from Denton, but I think both teams really are turning the ball over a little bit too easily for me. Passes just not quite finding their player, or touches being slightly off.
High press by City, wins it back. Clinton. Hasegawa. Booted away by Denton again. Back in the starting 11 today, Anouk Denton. She was on the bench for that Liverpool game. A disappointing game for them last time out, having conceded an equaliser late on.
Yeah, and I think with a game like that with so many defensive errors, they sort of lost, I mean, obviously lost them the game. It makes sense to make a change in the defensive line and see if you can solve some of the problems maybe you had last time, because I think the goals that they conceded were predominantly communication errors, players in the wrong positions, in the wrong places, just opening up spaces for Liverpool to take advantage.
She's ever present in this West Ham team too. She featured in 20 of 22 league matches last season. Arsenal Academy product, of course. Just 22 years old, called up to the England senior squad too in the last window.
Yeah, and I'm sure West Ham will be wanting to keep her in claret and blue, because I'm sure there's some clubs sniffing around for, you know, a New England international.
And I think it's worth pointing out Shakira Martinez as well in the January transfer window. Will she be in a West Ham shirt, having been so prominent and dominant for West Ham? Asay battling with Kasparai and wins that foul.
I do think as well, back to Martinez, for someone to be so dominant in front of goal in a team that have been struggling, I think that's even more testament to the skill and the ability that she has. She really shows that she can be clinical, because a team like West Ham, you might only get a few chances in a game, and if you only get a few chances, one of them has to go in the back of the net.
7 goals she's got this season. Only made her debut for West Ham back in January this year against Chelsea, and she scored a brace in that. And I'm sure she'll be on a few clubs' Christmas lists. Bunny Shaw just feeling that collision with Asay.
Yeah, Asay seems to be wanting to kind of keep the game moving quick. She's trying to get the ball into play quickly, and a bit of a clumsy tackle there, maybe an element of frustration, which would be understandable under the circumstances, but you can see she's trying to push and get her team moving a little bit quicker.
Another player who's scored over 100 goals, but in the French league, Viviane Asay. 3 goals for her this season. Hasn't really found the form she would have been looking for, I don't think. A leader in the squad though, 31 years old.
In a team sport, unfortunately, if your team aren't giving you the service, you can't score the goals. So I'm sure she'll be disappointed and frustrated, but in the same way a goalkeeper's not going to win you the game by scoring, the forward generally isn't going to win the game by defending, especially considering the mistakes that West Ham have made in the last few games.
You can see her there commanding her team as Bunny Shaw is still down and receiving some treatment as we take a break. And a lot of depth on that Manchester City bench. You can see Alex Greenwood's, Viviana Miedemar on the left there. Legends of the game, legends of club and country. And a couple youngsters to come on to make a mark.
Yeah, and hopefully if this game continues the way it is, some of those younger players can get an opportunity to show what they're about. I think this is what's quite exciting about this competition, is there is more opportunity for young talent to show fans who they are and what they're about.
Yeah, perfect opportunity for them tonight in the quarterfinals of this Subway Women's League Cup tie. Manchester City showing their dominance, 2-0 up already as we are back off and underway as it's with Canuck. And it's worth noting that 3 other games are kicking off at 1 p.m. today too, and the winners of this will host either Chelsea or Liverpool in that tie at the end of January. West Ham putting the pressure on, high up. A nice long ball over to Ziaks. Got to defend well. Morgan wins it back. It's a nice quick ball out. And wins the throw in the process for Endo. Bunny Shaw back on the pitch then, having recovered.
A better bit of build-up play from West Ham there, a bit more accurate in their passing, but just need to remain patient, try not to force those passes forward and lose possession.
Nice ball up along the flanks. Here is Fionn Morgan. Got some options in midfield, cuts it back, looks for Martinez and blocked by Canuck.
Yeah, that was a really nice spell from West Ham. As I was saying, that build-up was looking a lot more promising, a lot more dangerous. And winning a corner, I would say, other than a goal, is a success.
First corner for West Ham. And it's Verena Hanshaw on the end of it. And some rare defending to do for Manchester City. Sparai gets the header. And Kilda Brown, nice off play to find Carolyn. And a vital interception from Denton again.
They've done very well there defensively. You can see that they were trying to pull down the run of Carolyn as she ran through there. But best case scenario, no foul, and they won the ball back.
The last time these two sides faced each other, it was only back in November, and it was a Manchester City win, but only a 1-0 win up at the Joy Stadium, and Fagino scored the only goal of the game, who is not featured today. She was assessed in midweek, but hasn't passed the fitness test to be included today. But Carolyn and Lauren Hemp, the goal scorers today. Inside 10 minutes.
And I think that Chelsea in the past have shown that you don't win the league with 11 players, you win it with your full squad. And I think the team that City have this year and under the new management, I think they're starting to show that they do have that depth and they can fight with the likes of Chelsea. And if they do get Chelsea in the next round, which I'm sure a lot of people would expect, I do think they'll be fancying their chances based on their current form and how often they're finding the back of the net.
Yeah, depth on their bench too. Here is Asai breaking the line. Vivian Asai, one-on-one, great save by Yamashita. Still trying to work the attack, West Ham. Here is Morgan. She keep that in, she did. She pulls it back and nobody is in the box. Falls for Hanshaw. Shiki, and cut out by Kasparai, but what a brilliant save, Emily, from Yamashita.
Yeah, really important save. I'm looking forward to watching the replay here. A really nice ball, questionable defending there, really, to be able to split between the two, but Yamashita did really well to cut the angle down and got down low quickly. But also important to note that the recovery run of the defender really helps the goalkeeper if you can cut off that back post. It makes that decision there for Yamashita so much easier, and that's really important to pick up on in that small detail.
It makes it, what, a tighter angle for the striker to get her strike off.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you've got someone like Asai running down on you, especially as she's quite central. If there's no one covering that back post, you've got the whole goal to cover rather than, you know, 4 yards rather than 8. So it does make a huge, huge difference, and something that I'm sure she's worked on with them in training to help her in those situations.
Jade Rose with that recovering run for Manchester City. New signing in the summer for them. One of the most exciting defenders in the world, she's been labelled as. Clinton. Rose. Carolyn. Driving through midfield, good run from her. And Tiziak defending the run of Shaw. Leading from the back today, Amber Tiziak, in for the ever-present captain, Katrina Gorry, who's been taken ill this week. Martinez barging off that sky blue shirt. Hanshaw. And Riko Ueki. That's it back in. She strikes low and she's found the back of the net. What a brilliant strike from Riko Ueki. Scored her first goal of the season last weekend. And she's found it again today. West Ham 1, Manchester City 2.
What a lovely finish. And a nice build-up play there from West Ham. City committed probably a few too many players forward, which gave West Ham the opportunity to break. You can never, ever, I said this last week on the Chelsea game, on the goal by the first goal, you can't let a player come inside like that, because it just opens the whole goal up. Sandy Baltimore showed us it last week. Ueki shows us it today.
A fantastic strike by Riko Ueki. And West Ham are right back in this game. Game on. Inside half an hour, and it's been an exciting game so far.
Yeah, I think the game started a little bit slow from West Ham, but kind of understandably, under the circumstances and the context of their week, a little bit shaky. But I think almost as they've gone down, they've sort of found a little bit more control. The passes have been a bit more consistent and accurate. And I think that on the break, they've been able to really trouble City a few times, and the pressure was slowly building. And
it's paid off. And Steve Kirby The West Ham interim manager today, in for Ryan Skinner, who left in midweek. He's just commanding his team. Rose. Shaw. A miscommunication with her wingers there. And Anouk Denton will pick up the missed time ball. Hasegawa finds the run of Bunny Shaw. Shaw strikes. Good save by Shymick. Out by Hanshaw. Asei, and now West Ham on the counter. And it's the wrong ball by Asei to slow down that move.
Yeah, right ball, wrong detail. You can see what she's trying to do. When Bunny Shaw had the ball here, I really thought that we were going to see the game go to 3-1, but a really good stop from Seismic there.
Shaw again, twisting and turning, and a tug by Tiziak. And City will win that foul.
I mean, I actually thought it was really brave from West Ham after the shot and the save to pass the ball out when the pass was made sideways on the edge of their box. I kind of was thinking just to get the ball out, but it almost ended up being a really good opportunity for them.
So Tiziak just bringing down the run of Bunny Shaw, and she's been given a yellow card for that challenge, the captain today.
I don't know if making that foul in their half was really worth the yellow card. I think there's definitely going to be a time in this game where someone like Bunny Shaw does get in behind, and you'd almost want to save that moment for some time, which is a bit more threatening. Hopefully it doesn't go against her in later on in the game.
Yeah, she's going to have to be brave this game up against the ever-present Bunny Shaw. Tiziak calling for some supports. And Shaw finds the feet of Martinez. Wriggles around. Hanshaw back to Shymick.
It's an admirable endeavour from West Ham to try and play out from the back, but as soon as that ball went back to Shymick, you're kind of nothing on for her really, and if you're going to play out from the back, you need to try and progress the ball forward, otherwise you're just playing into your opposition's hands a little bit too much, and especially in the state of the game and the calibre of opposition, I think they're kind of playing with fire, West Ham, a little bit.
Well, it stayed in. Don't know how that stayed in, but cut back across by Asei. And pressing high up, pressing the goalkeeper. Won them that move. High intensity from West Ham. And Yamashita clears and they'll reset. Again, Asei is hot on the press.
Yeah, and it's good. Football's all about momentum, so the more you can bring that energy and pull your team forward with you, it just brings even more presence for the West Ham team, and I think they're fancying it a little bit at the moment. They're on a little bit of a high spell, and I'm sure City are going to want to just see this spell out and maybe get another goal just to try and put it to bed.
Nice ball to Morgan. Deflected off of Rebecca Canuck.
Fiona Morgan's had a few good moments down on that right-hand side. I think that's the second or third corner she's won for her team.
Hanshaw. A header off by Canuck. And Hasegawa and Kerolin clear further up Falls for Denton. Siren. And Chiki. Short. Limited blue shirts up front there. Let's find the run of Kasparai.
Good work rate from West Ham to get back in before the blue shirts arrived and quell the attack as Bunny Shaw ran forward.
And Kilda Brown out to Lauren Hemp. She's already got a goal to her name today. Rose. Kasparai. Quick ball off to find Carolyn. Good work from Siren. Stops the run of Carolyn, stops the danger from City.
Yeah, I think Carolyn kind of forced it a little bit there, but it was really, really good defending from Siren to stay stood, draw the foul.
Immediately won back by City though. Hasegawa leaves for Kasparai, infield to Grace Clinton. Hasegawa in tons of space here. Cuts it back and goes for the strike. It's straight to the gloves again of Schimek.
Yeah, some pretty play there. Good cut back from Clinton and lovely footwork from Hasegawa, showing her quality. Just not quite the quality in the strike that she would have hoped for, but maybe that will put the momentum back in City's favour.
Yamashita having to come out of her goal to clear the danger of a Sage charging in. Falls for Shaw. Kasparai.
When they win the ball back, West Ham really need to be careful not to turn it over so quickly. It's going to be a long, tiring game for them defending, I'd imagine.
Carolyn picks the pockets of Denton. Denton recovering her run. Has managed to poke it out for a throw.
Yeah, a good recovery from Denton to clean up her mess, but as I was talking about, the detail on when you win the ball back, so important you don't lose the ball in those areas. It's so obvious, but when you're wanting to play out and keep it tidy, you can't lose the ball in those areas.
Hemp. Nice footwork from the England international. Out to her England teammate, Grace Clinton. Ueki. Well, it's like a seesaw, this game, constantly being turned over in midfield. Again, Carolyn and City win it back. Carolyn still with a strike and just wide. She was able to move and run all the way down there to get her strike off.
Again, West Ham giving the ball away cheaply, and they really need to, if they're going to play this type of football, which I think can be extremely effective, they need to keep the ball for a little bit longer and reduce these turnovers. As you're saying, this is football, not the NBA, so we need to stop the seesawing.
Well, Carolyn is returning from an injury too. She missed the whole of October and November. She played 24 minutes last time out, last weekend. She is back, and she's back with a bang. Carolyn. Ueki, nice switcher play out to find Fionn Morgan. As what I think is an aeroplane or a helicopter goes above us in East London. Martinez lurking, Rose is there. Endo.
It would be good to go back and see that tackle from Anouk Denton on Carolyn there. I think that was a really nice piece of defending from her there, and being a goalkeeper, I want to see the defence celebrated as much as the attack.
Clipped by Clinton there on a say. He goes rolling. Clips her ankles there, Grace Clinton. Martinez. Morgan. Puts it in by Martinez and almost goes all the way through.
A great striker can't only just score, but they can assist, and that was a lovely searching ball. And I think if you had someone in there a little bit taller, a little bit more of a heading presence, perhaps that would have stuck into the back of the goal.
Yeah, arriving slightly too late. Bunny Shaw almost does a somersault there. Here is West Ham again. Clinton. Well, this is the first meeting between these two clubs in the Subway Women's League Cup, and it's certainly been an exciting one so far.
I mean, I think the ref made the right decision. It looks like a slip there rather than a foul, but still a pretty heavy one on Bunny Shaw, so hopefully she'll be all right once she just walks that off. Although she doesn't look too best pleased.
Doesn't look too happy with Siren there, does she? Look at that glare.
Wow. I think I would tell the ref to give her the foul if she looked at me like that.
Well, Siren's then let off, I think rightly so too. Tiziak, it's out by Blinkilda Brown. Clinton with some quick footwork, but Tiziak again to recover the ball. And out to Kasparai. Kasparai not too pleased with that tackle from Asai.
I'm not going to lie, I thought that was just a bit of a hustle for the ball there, really. And I've been enjoying watching Asai's work rate.
Carolyn Keeps it in, and Clinton's got almost an open goal, but cleared in the 6-yard box. Still alive for City. Clinton! What a brilliant strike from Grace Clinton. Pick that out. 3 goals in the first half for Manchester City. Clinton makes it 3. West Ham 1, Manchester City 3.
I think that we know Grace Clinton is capable of lovely finishes like that, but again, Chicky there just needs to clear a line sometimes. You can't always find your mate, especially in those moments. I know as a goalkeeper I'd rather a throw-in than Grace Clinton having a go. But I think that in many moments there's actually been mistakes from West Ham that have caused them the most problems, rather than City really breaking them down a lot.
West Ham looking for an immediate response with Martinez on the far side. But take nothing away from Grace Clinton there. That finish and that pinpoint accuracy was sensational. Cheeky. Hanshaw. And I say, still putting the pressure on to find that loose ball, but Yamashita has it covered this time.
Yeah, and I can see why she floated down. It wasn't a particularly convincing save, but a save nonetheless.
Rose. Hemp. Switch of the wings for Hemp, who cuts it back, and a header on target from Clinton again. Looking for a second just before half-time.
Yeah, and Clinton's having a good half. That pass to Lauren Hemp for the second goal.
And Kilda Brown. Quickly played out by Shymek. Hanshaw. Well, Grace Clinton, having switched from Manchester United in the summer to Manchester City. What a season she's having in a sky blue shirt.
Yeah, and she just needed this opportunity, regular minutes. She's a very talented player. And she's now able to show that week in, week out. And it seems like her and Lauren Hemp are sort of finding a good connection in this game.
England teammates, of course. Know each other very well. Searan wins. And there's going to be 5 minutes of added time in this first half. 5 minutes of more end-to-end action in what's been a very entertaining first half between these two sides. Clinton again.
Seems like West Ham might have dropped into a slightly lower block now. Perhaps trying to do a bit of damage control.
Hemp trying to barge off Fionn Morgan. She gets it across, and again, she's angry with that strike. It was straight to Shymek. Anywhere else, and you feel maybe that could have been the fourth. Well, she'll get another opportunity here. Threads it through to Carolyn. And this time it's not on target from the Brazilian international.
Half-time couldn't come quicker for West Ham, I think. They seem to be struggling a little in the last few minutes. But I'm pretty sure that most goals do come in the last 5 minutes of each half. So they need to stay switched on and make sure that this Corner goes out of harm's way.
Well, this was the opportunity from Hemp that Szymek had covered all the way. And she'll take the corner kick this time. Far post, punched out by Szymek.
Yeah, good goalkeeping that, away from danger. Nice, strong, clear contact. It's what you want from your goalkeeper, and she'll be chuffed with that. I couldn't see who that was, but there was a sky blue shirt looming behind her.
Into Clinton. Hasegawa. Well, two very different team talks will be needed at the break. For Steve Kirby, the interim West Ham manager, after Rhian Skinner left in midweek. It's going to be a tough talk for him at the break.
Yeah, but if I was him, I think the biggest thing that's going to help this West Ham team is just the detail on their passes and connections in moments like that, not to give the ball away cheaply, and also having the ball saves your legs as well. Defending like this for another 45 minutes is going to take it out of the players. But I think when they've been pressing like they are now, I think that there's been moments where they've looked quite dangerous.
Well, they're certainly not out of it just yet. They've still got another 45 to go. West Ham.
Often in these moments as well, with a team like City, who maybe will start cruising, you can catch them sleeping a little bit.
Ueki. Hanshaw keeps it alive for the Hammers. Carolyn is too strong, and Clinton will drive in midfield. Tiziak. Picks it out for a throw there. Hasegawa. Rose. Hemp. Uabi pulls it back. Well, there is the half-time whistle. And Manchester City are in the driving seat at the break. An opening goal just 2 minutes in from Carolyn. Hemp doubled their lead, but Ueki came back, giving them some hope, West Ham, in this first half. And then the final strike, Grace Clinton, makes it West Ham 1, Manchester City 3 at the break. So the two teams making their way back out at the Chigwell Construction Stadium for this Subway Women's League Cup quarter-final tie between West Ham and Manchester City, and it's the visitors, City, who are in control heading into this second half. They lead West Ham by 3-1. Carolyn Hemp and Clinton, the goals for them, but Rico Ueki for West Ham keeping it alive for the Hammers, keeping the hope alive. London City Lioness goalkeeper Emily Orman alongside me. Emily, an exciting half between these two sides, a first meeting in this competition between them. Did you expect that? Did we expect that?
I certainly didn't expect West Ham to get a goal back after the first two went in. I think that City had a lot of control of the game, but there's been spells where West Ham have looked slightly dangerous, I think, on the break. they've been able to catch City sleeping a little bit, but I think they're going to struggle to find any sort of brace in this game, although it would be exciting for us to watch. But yeah, it'll be exciting to see what City bring in the second half.
Well, there is a change, as eagle-eyed viewers might have seen there, and Alex Greenwood was in that huddle, so she has made her way on. And it's Leila Huabi who's come off for Alex Greenwood, who takes the captain's armband too. So a half-time substitution for Manchester City. For West Ham, by the looks of it, it's the same team. And Steve Kirby, the interim manager, doesn't make a change at the break, but I'm sure has had a big word with his West Ham side in the dressing room.
Yeah, definitely he's got a point to prove as well a little bit going into the Christmas break. I'm sure I'd imagine anyway, wants the job or at least to have a look in for it. So he's going to want his team to put in a bit more of a performance in the second half and try and get back into the game.
Kasparai. Out to Carolyn. And the run by Denton. Wins it back.
They've done well in their press throughout this game, I think, West Ham, and City, interestingly, seem to have struggled a little bit to find the composure to break it down.
Slight heavy touch by Morgan there. But we were saying in the break, Emily, she's had a decent game today, Fia Morgan.
Yeah, I think in the first half she had a few good chances to put the ball into the box and won her team a few corners. So she's had a good game so far, I think. Good decision from Yamashita to come out there. That's an important piece of goalkeeping to control her area.
Carolyn. Quick footwork. Out to Clinton. Got the run of Kasparai on her right, but pulls it infield to find Hemp. And a nice save by Szymek and cleared away by Endo. And City almost with the same start they had in the first half. Carolyn. Hemp again, back-heeled, but finds Hanshaw instead of Shaw. Battling Hemp. And West Ham somehow managed to wiggle it out.
That pass from Grace back there was almost a carbon copy of the goal in the first half, with the pass she made to Lauren Hemp. And then you've got to question the West Ham decision there to try and keep the ball in the box, where you've got Lauren Hemp and others breathing down your neck. I think that clear lines in that situation, regroup.
Ueki finds a through ball to Kasparai, cuts it back at the byline, saved by Szymek, diving to her right, and here is Clinton looking for a second, but it goes over the bar.
It's like Groundhog Day for Grace Clinton. Almost a very similar goal for herself. There's the pass to Lauren Hemp, and a decent save from Szymek there. But here, I don't know why West Ham are insisting to pass out in that moment, but they survived, and another good stop here to take the ball away from danger.
Well, West Ham are going to have to regroup here because they won't want this to carry on. And 2 runs, Martinez and Asay looking for the end of that, but I think the offside flag may have gone up. Or a foul. Bounce ball back to find Hemp. And this time, I think that would have been the offside flag, and it is.
And the missed header there kind of gave me flashbacks to the Liverpool goal, where the defenders weren't able to clear the danger on the long ball. So West Ham need to watch themselves there, because there's nothing worse than making the same mistake twice.
And especially in the fashion that they did, West Ham. Scoring early on and being pegged back almost immediately by Liverpool last weekend. And they've got another tough task today to find a way back into this game against the Barclays Women's Super League leaders. They've only been beaten once this season, and that was on the opening day to Chelsea. But they have had a good record in this competition. They topped their group. Carolyn, plucked out by Siren. Clinton is able to recycle. Here is Greenwood, fresh on as a sub, and Hasegawa can't get a touch away.
West Ham are wasting no time getting the ball out, but I don't know if they've really got the numbers forward.
Rose. Carolyn. Off-lays to Bunny Shaw, who uses her strength to get past Tiziak, and now Bunny Shaw. Surely, Hemp. Oh, she skied it. How has she not put that into the top corner?
Too much time to think, I reckon. But I said it in the first half. Seismic has already picked up a yellow card on Bunny Shaw. She can't do much there, and she is very lucky that Lauren Hemp wasn't able to find the net, but that's why you've got to be pretty tactical about when you do foul, especially a player like Bunny Shaw.
Well, that's uncharacteristic, really, for Lauren Hemp to put a ball like that over the crossbar. And West Ham somehow are still in this game, really. Greenwood. Knack. Tiziak. To Hanshaw. Brave from Hanshaw. Ueki. Gets away past 3-4 blue shirts. Yamashita comes out to clear the danger. And Hemp now this time looking for the goal, and it's wide.
I think she's trying to make up for the last one with that, because that would have been a pretty spectacular finish if that had gone in the back of the net.
Maybe would have been forgiven.
Yes. Definitely would have. I think that's maybe what she was going for, but a nice little bit of work there from Ueki for West Ham. Almost got a team a goal, but Yamashita's defending that space in behind really well, denying any of those runs from Asei in behind.
3 clean sheets for Yamashita, the City goalkeeper this season, having signed last year. And Kilda Brown.
I think Anouk might have got the ball there.
Well, the referee doesn't agree with you, Emily. He's given the foul, and it's going to be a card. A yellow card. Well, Verena Hanshaw will receive a yellow card for that challenge. And now Manchester City with a really dangerous set piece here that Alex Greenwood and Hasegawa stand over.
And there's Lauren Hemp stood at the back post, looking a little bit menacing.
Greenwood takes onto the back post. It's a header by Bunny Shaw, and it's found away in. And finally, Bunny Shaw finds the back of the net today.
I mean, we kind of predicted it. You could see where the overload was. And it wasn't managed properly by West Ham, and wasn't really a particularly clean header from Bunny Shaw, but that doesn't really matter. They all count.
A towering header at the back post. Hits the crossbar maybe on the way in.
It may have even come off of a West Ham player. Oh no, Bunny Shaw got there. Of course she did.
Inevitable, really. 100 goals for Manchester City last weekend, and she finds another today. And surely, maybe, that is game over for West Ham. Rose. Clinton, linked up, finds the head of Endo. Shaw. Carolyn in heaps of space on that right flank. Hasegawa. Hemp. Clinton. Greenwood. Carolyn tidies up. Quick footwork from the Brazilian, cuts it back, and Cheeky is the one that clears. Corner.
Yeah, if in doubt, kick it out, I guess, but definitely not where she wanted to kick it to. I think maybe there could have been some better communication. She wasn't really getting too pressed there. But I think as well with that initial cross that went in, I think the ball was kind of directed towards Carolyn, where it might have been going out for a goal kick, but from this angle, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
So Greenwood will have another opportunity to find another for Manchester City. Fires it in, out by West Ham. Hasegawa picks it up on the far side. Back to Greenwood. Looking for options, City, and Hasegawa goes all the way back to Yamashita. Reset. Carolyn. Hemp. Kasparai. Nice ball from Hemp. Out for another corner though from Tiziak.
Yeah, probably an important touch though, just to take it off of the path of any of the City shirts running in behind her. But a dangerous cross there from Hemp, and won a team corner.
And Grace Clinton was there. She was lurking on the shoulders. Headed out by West Ham for now. Kasparai, back heel by Clinton is blocked. And there's been a bit of a barge in the penalty area, and it's Cheeky who's down. Looks to be okay though.
Yeah, and I think again, West Ham need to manage the overloads a little bit better. They were lucky, but I think Laura Blinkety-Brown was sort of sniffing at the back post there, similar to what we saw on that free kick. So I think West Ham just need to adapt a little bit better in game.
So a triple substitution inbound for West Ham, and I think really Steve Kirby, you could see that coming. Kasparai. City again on the attack though, Carolyn. Out to Hemp. Hemp with some room to move, and her strike again is wide. But they want more, City.
Yep, Hemp keeps applying more and more pressure. She's calibrating. I'm sure that she will find the target very soon.
So some substitutions for West Ham then. So Say is going off. And Leila Vondola makes her way on. 19 years old. She's been a bit of a substitute this season for West Ham. New signing from Lyon. Martinez also coming off. And Serena Pubel runs onto the pitch. And it's also Hanshaw who is subbed off on a yellow card. And Eva Nierstrom, who was moved to the bench for this game, is on for the second half.
Perhaps looking to be a little bit more defensive now, taking off two very dominant attacking players for West Ham. I think the gap certainly was starting to open up more and more for City. In the build-up, they were breaking down West Ham a lot easier. Even just fresh legs, I think, will be important for West Ham now, just to try and see this game out without City, getting another opportunity to score.
Yeah, it's interesting. So really, their only striker on the pitch now is Ueki, and it looks like Pubel's gonna be playing in an attacking role too, as is Vondola there. He's just pressing Rose. But Ueki, really their only established striker. And Carolyn, again, darting through that midfield. She's got Shaw and Hemp as options. Carolyn, that's a Blinkilda Brown who slips. And Ueki is able to run out with it. Pubel, fresh legs for her, into Vondola.
West Ham are still pressing, which I was wondering if game plan maybe was going to change with the substitutions, but they seem to be wanting to still press Manchester City.
Short ball back, cleared and dealt with by Szymek. Vondola goes for the strike. Saved easy by Yamashita.
I think there was some interesting decision from the ref there, because it seemed to hit the hand of, I think, of Vondola, and he seemed to play the advantage, but that almost was the advantage ultimately for West Ham.
Well, City able to clear nevertheless. Nice back heel by Shaw to find Clinton, and looks for the through ball for Hemp, and Szymek comes out.
Another good connected pass between Clinton and Hemp. I think that this game they've really sort of found each other nicely. Particularly Grace Clinton has had a couple lovely passes into Lauren Hemp, but not quite on the money, that one.
Carolyn, Clinton spots Greenwood, making the run in, out to Hemp. Easy cut back for her. Clinton almost with a second of the game.
And I literally just finished talking about it, but that's that Lauren Hemp-Clinton connection again. Maybe I've got the opposite of the commentator's curse, and I'm actually predicting what's going to happen. So if anyone wants to pay me, I'm joking, I'm joking.
So some substitutions have saved you. Carolyn is off. And Iman Benny comes on. Blinkilda Brown also makes her way off, and the experienced Laura Coombs comes on with gloves on. Now, I always think players with gloves on, they're very technical. Viviana Miedemar, I'm thinking of, always wears gloves.
Yeah, Bunny Shaw.
Bunny Shaw.
I just think it's smart, especially on a day like today.
So double substitution for Manchester City then. Some fresh legs on for them. Looking to build on what is already a dominant performance. And immediately, Benny making her way known. Short slips in the box, but Lauren Hemp clears up. And a good save by Shymick in goal once again. Kanak, Greenwood, plucked out by Morgan. Clinton spots the pass, dinked over to Hasegawa. And Greenwood cushions it back to Kanak.
City seem to be looking to pull West Ham apart, just keeping the ball moving, trying to open up some gaps to play in.
Hemp again pulls it back, header by Bene.
Good work by Hemp there, and a nice little bit of connection to get the ball into that area. Gone back here to the little bunny slip. And then another good save by the West Ham goalkeeper. Lauren Hemp seems to have found the right area now.
And another substitution for West Ham. A fourth substitution for them. So Anna Chiki is off, and Hayley Hussein makes her way on. West Ham fan Hayley Hussein hasn't featured much this season at all, only 3 appearances. But she did score on her debut.
I actually played with Hayley Hussein at Reading when I was on loan. She was on loan as well from West Ham, so it's good to see her getting some more opportunity with the first team here. I think she's played in the last few cup games for them as well.
Yamashita. Shaw. Rose.
You can really hear the encouragement from, I think that might be Steve Kirby, trying to get his team to keep pressing high.
There he is, congratulating or clapping his team. Winning a corner kick there, West Ham.
I do think there's been moments in this game that pressing has worked for them though. Although I'm sure it's pretty tiring to be defending as much as they are and pressing as hard as they are.
Kubel. Header away by Shaw, defensive header this time, instead of her usual attacking ones. Endo.
Good opportunity for Endo there. Sorry, Yajima. No, that is Endo. Sorry.
Just couldn't get it on target for Endo. Hasn't scored for West Ham yet. Greenwood sends it down the flanks. Morgan clears it up. Hasegawa. Siren. Nasty tackle. Collision of heads.
Ali Hussein took that like an absolute champ. I mean, I thought she was
Straight
worst
back up.
off. Yeah. She was straight up ready for asking for the ball back. So, I don't know what her head's made out of, but clearly something stronger than...
Well, she's straight back to her feet. Ali Hussein. And it's Bene that's on the floor. And the medics immediately called on because that is a collision of heads.
Hopefully she's okay. Probably just seeing a few stars, but hopefully nothing too serious.
Well, she does make her way back up. And a chance for these two sides that have been very intense this game to have a break and a drink. And a tactical talk, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure Manchester City are going to be wanting to get a few more goals out of this game. We're going to see the... yeah, see, I think Ali Hussein's the only one that gets it to the face.
An elbow to the head. That looked really painful. And she's all right.
She doesn't even look like she's been hit. I don't think that Bene even got it to the face, but she's back to her feet now, so hopefully both of them are all right and can continue on. I mean, I'm sure Ali Hussein is.
Maybe the collision just knocked her off her feet there. How hard Hussein's head is.
Or maybe she's like empathetic pain. She felt how hard she hit Ali Hussein in the head and felt it herself.
So she's on the sidelines for a moment. City temporarily down to 10. And really, perfect opportunity for West Ham to pounce on this and try and get something back. It's coming up to 15 minutes to go.
West Ham keep trying to force the mistake, but when you do press high, if they don't make a mistake, they do often have a lot more space to work with, which of course, you don't want to give these players too much at all.
Well, it's been given away there. Bene straight back on the pitch and straight back with a strike on target.
Yep, and another good save there from Seismic.
Given away cheaply by West Ham. Bene, that's a powerful strike.
Yeah, she meant business with that one, but didn't really find the corners, so it was a pretty simple save in the end, although a good one.
Knack. Kasparai. Slants it forward. Hemp. Coombs. Morgan. Cheap touch by Pubel. Immediately taken by Greenwood. Hemp gets to the byline. Cut back for Coombs, and Laura Coombs finds the net again.
It was the gloves, Emily. It was a great technical finish and a good work from City to get that ball into play nice and quickly. And sometimes shooting is as simple as not kicking it right at the goalkeeper and end up being a very good finish. Side-footed that right in the corner. No chance for the goalkeeper there.
Brilliant finish from Laura Coombs. She's played nearly every minute of this League Cup campaign for Manchester City. And she's found the back of the net again today. West Ham 1, Manchester City 5, and surely now they'll just see this out. And Ueki being taken off by West Ham. And Sarah Brazzero has replaced her. Maybe that's a tactical decision from Steve Kirby to protect his players for the next game.
Yeah, they've got Christmas, but ultimately West Ham do have a bit of a fight in the league to play, and they're not going to want to be finishing at the bottom, especially after the draw against Liverpool, which doesn't really give them the space I'm sure that they would have wanted going into Christmas. But yeah, no, it's important that those players, I think a lot of them have come off now, are fit after the Christmas break, to hopefully have a bit more of a successful 2026.
Well, they sit just above Liverpool at the bottom of the table, 2 points above Liverpool, and they've got none other than Chelsea next. But they do have Christmas in between that. And also, they've got the search for a new head coach too, after Rhian Skinner left in midweek. An experienced manager, West Ham making the decision to remove her and put, for now, Steve Kirby in interim charge.
Yep, I think it's going to be a busy Christmas for recruitment at West Ham, trying to fill in some of the gaps that they have at the moment, trying to fortify their defence maybe, also trying to keep some of the players that have been so instrumental to the team, like Martinez, Anouk Denton.
Morgan out for a West Ham corner. It's not going to be a corner. I thought that came off of a City player. It's going to be a goal kick instead. Hemp. Coombs. Hemp again. Can't get past Morgan this time, and she does well to clear.
It's hard in games like this if you're playing for West Ham, but I think Morgan overall has had a pretty solid performance today. Created a few attacking opportunities for her team, and they're doing the dirty work.
Sagawa clips it forward, wants to find Clinton, and West Ham do well to squeeze that out. Knack. Benet slips and falls over, and now West Ham with a chance. Wunderler, the young Swiss international, can't get a cutback away well enough. Poked out by City. Denton to take quickly, I should imagine. Wunderler again. Off to Siren. Forward to Morgan. Duval. Endo. Nice play from West Ham, cut across the face of goal. Denton has to chase that one down. Denton. Maybe the wrong decision from Manu Denton there, but it's a shot on target.
Yeah, and I think a nice passage from West Ham there. Did well to have a bit of sustained possession outside of City's box, but as you say, disappointing for it to end up the pretty simple save for Yamashita there. But nice to see West Ham having a little bit of go on the City goal.
Coombs straight to the feet of Endo. Tiziak. Hussein. Well, 10 minutes to go in this quarter-final Subway League Cup tie. And you'd think it's got to be City's for the taking now. As Wunderler is charging on the attack. Header up, finds Morgan. She's got some room here inside the penalty area. Cuts it across. Poked out by Kanak, falls for Siren. Wunderler. And out for a corner.
Yeah, good work from West Ham. There's been a couple of moments now where they've been putting a little bit more pressure on City, and although I don't think that they're going to be able to pull 4 goals back in the next 10 or so minutes, it's good to see them sort of getting a little bit more success and putting a little bit more pressure onto the City team.
Duval low this time and hits the side netting. And another corner. It's come off Knack by the looks of it. So she'll have another go. Wunderler with a back heel. And again, off a City player.
I think that they need to play short up.
Well, you called it. And that one didn't work too well, but they've got the chance to recycle it. Morgan. Siren. And now City charging forward. Benet's made the run. And the offside flag on that run was up, and there's going to be some substitutes for Manchester City to see this game out. So Rebecca Knack, who's done well in defence today, couldn't keep a clean sheet. Grace C. Pryor takes her place in the back line, and a goal scorer today, one of many, Bunny Shaw. 101 goals now for her in a City shirt. She comes off, and Lily Murphy, 19 years old, takes her place, can play anywhere across the front line, so it'll be interesting to see where Jeglerts has put her.
Yeah, it's good to see some young players coming on the pitch. Hopefully she can have a couple of opportunities to potentially get a goal.
Good save at the near post, almost wriggling its way in.
I think that Seimaker's had a good game today. I think this game could have been a little bit worse if she hadn't been as strong. I don't think that she's been massively tested in all of them, but being a goalkeeper is all about being effective, and she's done that today a lot of the time.
Now Vondela one-on-one, the goalkeeper's off her line. Surely Vondela can make it 2. It's saved by Yamashita well. West Ham desperate for a second here. Hussein cuts it in. Headed out by Greenwood. Morgan. Sparai spots that pass, and Vondela again with the ball at her feet.
Nice idea from Theo Morgan there. You can kind of see the vision of trying to switch the ball, a bit similar to what we saw from Grace Clinton in the first half. On the goal with Lauren Hemp, just trying to switch that play, drag the City defenders away. Unfortunately, she didn't quite have the power on the shot and the pass, sorry, that she would have hoped. Here we can see the save from Yamashita. I think this is her second one-on-one save of the game, and she's shown that she's pretty dominant in that area. Hasn't been called on much today, but when she has been, she has done her job pretty well.
An excellent goalkeeper, Yamashita. 10 clean sheets last season. Vonda. Tiziak. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes for Manchester City to see this game out, really.
City just controlling the ball here, just trying to keep possession. I'm sure they're not going to want to concede any more goals, although they have turned the ball over here.
All the way through to Greenwood. Well, the player of the match today, Emily Auburn, you have selected, is Grace Clinton. Scored today and has been instrumental in setting up the rest.
Yeah, I think she's been really solid in the midfield today and scored a really nice goal, but I think the thing that really did it for me was some of the passes that she's made, particularly to Lauren Hemp. I think she had a good game today and helped her team with the win. Well, they haven't won it yet, but I'll be pretty impressed if West Ham pull this one out the bag.
Well, by the looks of it, it is Manchester City that will advance to the semi-finals, and they will be facing, also, by the looks of it, Chelsea. Liverpool playing Chelsea today. So it will be a repeat of the final last year that was played in Derby, where Chelsea got the better of City. It will be the semi-final this year. As Bennett comes forward again. Kasparai cut back, and Clinton maybe heard you that she was the player of the match, looking for her second.
Yeah, maybe I do have the commentator's curse after all. But I think maybe call for a penalty there, potentially, but it's hard to get much power on a ball looping like that. But Still disappointed, I'm sure, Grace Clinton, that she wasn't able to score another one today. I think that the semi-final will be a great watch, really. I think that it'll be a very close game, perhaps even like the final.
Yep. It's first and second in the WSL that will play each other in the semi-final of this League Cup. By the looks of it, anyway.
Definitely worth tuning into that one, I think. It will be very entertaining and hopefully a lot of goals, although it'll be tough to break down both teams, I'd imagine.
So Yamashita looking to see this one out then. And it's going to be 5 minutes of added.
Seems neither team's in much of a rush now, really.
Can end the game here, really, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps they can push for another goal, maybe, give us a little bit more excitement.
Bondola. Through to Denton. Cut out well by Rose. Here's Kasparai. Charging down this right flank.
Looks like a very cold Laura Blinkety-Brown on the bench there. Not sure what the weather is like there, but I'm even cold in the studio, so I can imagine it's a chilly one out there.
You can hear the travelling fans cheering on their team to see out this win. And they're glad they've made the journey down to East London today. And Rose and Searen battling. Greenwood.
Seems like West Ham have given up the press now. Just trying to see this game out. Although they're quite expansive, really, if they're not going to press them aggressively. Nuke Denton seems to still have the legs for it, though.
Kasparai. Clinton calling for it. Kasparai goes all the way through, though.
Good refereeing that, I think, to pull it back after the ball turned over. Lily Murphy did well there to create something for Manchester City.
Yeah, fresh on, fresh legs, and a collision there with the West Ham player. So, or Hussein, I think it was.
So she actually got a little bit hurt from that one. Should have gone in with her head, maybe.
So, City now, as we've got 2 minutes of added, will look for a sixth. And I won't ruin the rest of the scores for you, but this is not the biggest scoreline today, believe it or not. Asagawa. Asagawa over the bar.
She was always shooting from there, I think. But she'll be disappointed. It's like, I think, a dream if you would enjoy taking a set piece from that angle. It's begging for a bend it like Beckham moment.
A film maybe some of these will watch over Christmas, me included.
Definitely worth the watch, I'd say. She's a boy as well, maybe? Is that what it's called?
Sure, sure. Love Actually, are we allowed to say this on commentary? City still pushing. Less than a minute to go to book their place in the semi-finals of the Subway League Cup this season. Made it all the way through to the final last year. Looking to go that one step further and win it this season with the squad they've got, top of the Women's Super League 2. And maybe even the treble with the FA Cup on the cards too.
You know, I think Chelsea will be looking a lot at the Champions League this year. I think there's a lot more pressure on them. There has been for a long time, but even so now, and in the league, City are doing really, really well. So I think that the Subway League Cup will be interesting to see how both teams approach that game, to be honest.
Well, that was the last action, full time at the Chigwell Construction Stadium, and Manchester City's quality eventually tells. West Ham battled, they tried to make it a real contest, but City show why they are the Barclays Women's Super League leaders as they move one step closer to lifting the Subway Women's League Cup. 5 goals for City, Carolyn and Hemp inside the first 10 minutes. Ueki came back for West Ham, but then eventually Grace Clinton, Bunny Shaw and Laura Coombs all put past Schimek in the second half. And for Andre Jeglert's side, the quest to go one better than last season continues for the Sky Blues. Up next for them, it's Chelsea. A repeat of the final last season, and it's finished here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. West Ham 1, Manchester City 5. So a big win for Manchester City, an expected win maybe with the transitional phase that West Ham are in, having lost their manager in midweek. For Manchester City, Laura Coombs on the score sheet too. 5 different goal scorers. That's a big win for them, Emily Orman.
Yeah, and as you say, probably a win they would have wanted, but they did it in style, I think. Some good moments for them, and I think they might be disappointed to have not been able to keep a clean sheet, but ultimately it gets them through to the next round, and that is what matters.
For West Ham, they did get one back, Rico Ueki on the score sheet for them, but out of the cup, they're down the bottom, the Barclays Women's Super League. It's a tough time for them, and no manager really, no permanent manager anyway for them. It's going to be a tricky Christmas and a tricky recruitment time in January for them.
Yeah, definitely players and staff, I think they're going to want to build on more of what they've already got, as are every club really. I think especially where they are in the league, they need to get the people in to help them keep fighting.
So a big time for West Ham, a regroup, a reshuffle. The fans want to see more than that. But for Manchester City, the travelling support have made their way down the M1 today. Are in full spirits. A big win for them. 5 goals for Manchester City. And you can see Yamashita, who's been a big part of this game, a big part to keep it at just the 1 goal for West Ham. Fist pumping the travelling support today.
Yeah, she's quick in, quick out, but perfect day for the fans today. What you want as a City fan, plenty of goals. And I reckon they were probably moving around the stadium to get close to the action.
For Man City, next up, it's Everton at home in the Women's Super League, and then they've got their 4th round FA Cup against Bournemouth away. And then they've got London City Lionesses away.
Yeah, that'll be a good game at our home.
Will be a good game at home, and one of the players that have scored today, Lauren Hemp, is pitch side.
Lauren, congratulations, through to the semi-finals. What's the reaction?
Yeah, really positive. Obviously, we got quite a few goals. I thought we connected well. Passing was good at times. I thought a bit sloppy in other cases, which caused a lot of chances for West Ham. But yeah, in the end, we got the well-deserved win. So yeah, I look forward to the semis.
This team just scores so many goals. What is it that goes into this?
I mean, I think we've got so many fantastic attacking players. Also, it starts from the back as well. I thought we kept the ball really well, created lots of chances and found the spaces. And I mean, you've seen today and also in previous games this season already that we've got players who can come on who are ready to score as well. So yeah, I mean, got lots of competition in the squad and it helps us all improve.
On a personal level, how much did you enjoy it out there? You were getting a lot of space, especially on the wing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I love getting on the ball, creating chances and helping the team as much as I can. And yeah, I was really pleased to do that today and contribute where I can.
And finally, Chelsea next, a repeat of last season's semi-final. Is it a case of revenge going into that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting playing Chelsea, and yeah, to be able to do that at home, hopefully we'll get a good crowd out. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have to be at our best to beat them, but we're ready to take on anyone.
Thanks very much, Lauren.
Thank you.
So Lauren Hemp, one of the goal scorers there with Joe Terry, gets the job done today. Elsewhere, it's finished Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 2. Chelsea have put 9 goals past bottom of the WSL table, Liverpool. Manchester United have come from behind to beat Tottenham by 2-1, and here Manchester City beaten West Ham by 5-1. And we can have a look at some of the highlights, quite a lot of highlights in this game. City coming out early, putting the intensity high on. As Hemp's dink ball up, finds the head of Clinton, and then Shaw with the initial strike, and Carolyn there on the rebound, fresh back from injury. Her first start in a while, and straight back on the score sheet. Again, City pressing constantly. Lovely ball from Clinton, finds Hemp, who finds the back of the net. Brilliant goal, brilliant pass. And City, early on, inside 10 minutes, went 2 goals up. West Ham not letting that get the better of them, though. Coming down the other end, Ueki. And it's a brilliant goal. It had to be a brilliant goal to get past Yamashita. Enrico Ueki, we thought, put West Ham right back in it. A tight angle. And he did well. Carolyn into Clinton. And then wasn't dealt with by West Ham. Inside the box still, and Clinton with a superb rocket into the top corner. Pick that out. No chance for Szymek on that one. Quality all over the pitch for Manchester City. Again, a set piece and a header from Bunny Shaw. 101 goals in a Manchester City shirt. What a player she is. Again, it didn't really stop the pressure, and Coombs on as a substitute. Had the last. Nice cut back from Lauren Hemp at the byline. Szymek already knelt down. Easy for her, really. And that is it. And Manchester City are through to the semi-finals of the Subway League Cup. this season. A replay of the final then when they meet Chelsea. Next up for them, but for Andre Yegelert's side, it's job done at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. And they'll look to go one better than last year. It's finished here in East London. West Ham 1, Manchester City 5.